You're very welcome. Welcome back. Virgin Media's brand new show, The Assembly, it continues tonight. It's a show where a group of neurodivergent and autistic people put some of Ireland's most well-known people through their paces.
Well, we're delighted to have reporters Emily Sheridan and Billy McDonnell with us to share their experience of being a part of The Assembly.
Morning.
It's great to have you both with us, guys. Thank you so much. But before we get in chatting, let's take a look at a little clip of what to expect tonight.
Hello, Joanne. Just I say greetings, hola, bonjour, and I say olo.
Wow. Oh my gosh, it's like 9 languages.
So, how do you see yourself in the future? Will you stay in comedy, or do you have other ambitions?
Ooh, that's interesting.
I think I'll stay in comedy in one way or the other.
Do you feel you may be neurodivergent?
Maybe. I mean, I spend a lot of time looking for things. I don't know if that's a sign. There's a lot of a bit chaotic, or I'm like, I don't know if that makes me neurodivergent, but it does make things a little tricky.
Right.
That is Emily and Billy there during the Assembly. It is so lovely to have you here. Thank you so much. Billy, when you got involved with the Assembly and you found out you were going to be interviewing people like Micheál Martin and Joanne McNally, how did you feel about that?
Well, I was very excited and a bit nervous, as I never met any celebrities before, so I didn't know what to expect. But they were all really nice.
I'd say they were, and I'm sure they were delighted to get some of the questions from you as well. I know, so Joanne McNally is on tonight. We heard you asking one of your questions there, but you also asked her about her swimming achievements, that she used to be a swimmer, is that right? And of course, you have brought in your own gold medals from your own sporting achievements as well. Was it nice to get her memories of being a swimmer?
Oh, yes. I joined the Special Olympics Team Dundalk in 2005 when I was 12 years old. And since then, I have 31 gold medals for swimming. Three for national finals and 10 for regional finals.
You, it's unbelievable what you've done in the Special Olympics are on again this summer in areas all across Ireland. And Billy, you have been so amazing and such a great ambassador for the Special Olympics. Emily, when you were doing this, now you have been a taskmaster. I had a pleasure to watch Emily take a lot of people to task, and you certainly don't shy away from the harder topics. Like you spoke to Joanne about her eating disorder is one thing that you wanted to talk to her about. Yeah. How did you find that? Because it can be a hard thing for an awful lot of people to discuss.
Yeah, so I suppose I'm studying social care, so I really wanted to talk about something that was related to that, and I knew Joanne had struggled with an eating disorder, and I wanted to hear more from herself, what it was like for her, because I know people that do have eating disorders, and I think it's important for someone that might be well known to come out and maybe talk about it to help people who are going through it to feel less alone and that recovery is possible.
When you were doing this, I suppose Joanne is there as this comedian who has kind of really exploded in the last 5 years. You know, she's a global comedian now. And one thing that you said is that you find comedy quite difficult to understand, Emily, the cues of it.
Yeah. So when I heard that we were interviewing Joanne, I was a bit nervous at first because I was like, I don't really know how I'm going to perceive her because I do really struggle with comedy. And I think afterwards, because I had set it to production, I was kind of supported with that, but I did find at times hard to know, should I be laughing at this or should I not be laughing at this? So definitely, I suppose for me, she would have been one of the most difficult people to interview with the comedy status.
Okay, because did she try to intertwine comedy into her answers, or was that bit of an awkward bit you didn't know?
Yeah, so she talked about her adoption and she kind of joked about that, but that's the way she comes across. And same with her eating disorder. I think she mentioned something about being in competition with her eating disorder, which is something you might not hear someone else usually say.
Or even with just the clip there, you asking her, do you think she's neurodivergent? Yeah. And you could see she didn't know whether to try and make it funny or not.
Yeah. because I know she's mentioned before, like, things about ADHD, so that's why I suppose I asked that question as well.
How do you find that? When were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed in December 2020, so I was about 16 and a half then.
16 and a half.
Yeah.
Did that answer an awful lot of questions for you as you had been growing up? Perhaps you're like, well, I don't get comedy. Why are all these people laughing at this?
Yeah, it definitely like brought a big relief for me being diagnosed, because my mum and dad had brought me everywhere like before that, and they were just being told, oh, she's an only child, so like that's why she's struggling so much. But actually, like, I was kept back in junior infants for like struggling socially. And that would be a major red flag now, but back then it wasn't.
It wasn't.
And Billy, you got to interview Rosie O'Donnell as well, who I'm sure is probably on next week's show as well. But you also told her how you were born in New York.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was born in New York City in 1993, and I have lived there for 4 years before I moved to Ireland in 1997, where I live here for 29 years. I had to go back to my relatives in New York every 5 years.
Every 5 years you go visiting. So you had, yourself and Rosie had plenty to talk about with that. But who was your favourite person? There's Micheál Martin, I don't want to pick favourites, but Micheál Martin, Joanne McNally, Rosie O'Donnell, Ryan Tubridy. Who did you enjoy talking to, Billy, the most?
Well, I enjoyed interviewing all of them. They were great, but Ryan Tubridy is my favourite. He was funny, and he was very funny and understanding. He have hosted for the Late Late Show from 2009 to 2023, and he was also the host for the Late Late Toy Show, which is my favourite Christmas show ever.
Yeah, well, he's a star on it as well. Emily, did you have a favourite?
Yeah, Ryan Tubridy.
Really?
Yeah, I've said this in other interviews as well. Yeah, Ryan Tubridy.
Why?
Well, I suppose Ryan was the first guest we interviewed, even though like it was shown differently. But he was so forgiving with his time. They all were, but he was particularly, and he even shared with us like what pubs he drank in and like where we could meet him. And you know, he was so casual with us, and I loved that like about him.
Oh, right. So did he invite you along for a drink as well with him?
He did. I was waiting for the invite that night. I was like, Ryan, you're bringing everyone. I thought he was going to offer everyone one for everyone in the audience.
I believe there were sing-songs and he was brilliant in terms of that.
Yeah,
too.
he was so like getting involved, and I know Muireann kind of had to put him in a bit of tight from asking us questions.
Oh, really?
I thought it was the Eurovision at one second. I was like, Ryan, we're going to have to stop singing here.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, Emily, what this means to you? Because last week was the first episode, and you were phenomenal. Honestly, I enjoyed watching it so much. What does it mean to be represented on television for neurodivergent and autistic people?
It means so much to have people that are representing you, like on TV. Like years ago, it may have been someone who was non-verbal, and it's so diverse now, and it's great that the Assembly cast, like, we were all so diverse, and I think that's really amazing. Like, and I get text messages now of parents saying their little girls are watching the show, and they're like, oh, someone on that show's like me, and like, I've a little godson, and like, I always wanted him to kind of grow up knowing that he had someone like.
It's so wonderful.
You have a little poem you want to read quickly? Do we have time to maybe give?
Yes, we are autistic, different, not less. We deserve all the opportunities to progress. We are all different in every way. Our challenges can change from day to day. Acceptance is needed each and every day. Yes, we may struggle with change, but our difficulties are not levels nor range. Change and uncertainty for us can be a struggle. With advance notice, support and acceptance, change can be made less of a struggle. And there's more of that tonight on the show.
Emily and Billy, thank you so much. Assembly on tonight at night. Talk to you tomorrow. Well done, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.